My name is Alec. I'm 52 years old and I've just decided to completely change my life. I sold my apartment and bought a piece of land where I'm going to build a house for myself and my son. On this channel, I'll show the entire process of building a wooden house, discuss the costs involved, and share the challenges I'll face along the way. I hope the videos I make will inspire someone else to follow an equally crazy dream. I've cleared the land of trees and shrubs, removed the topsoil, and set up the batter boards. Now it's time to mark the exact locations where I'll drill the holes for the foundation piers that will support my wooden house. According to the design, the house will rest on 51 piers. On top of that, there will be a porch, a deck, and a garage. In total, I need to drill 85 holes. Each one must extend below the frost line, which varies depending on the geographic location. Here in the Mazovia region, the frost depth is 1.2 meters, so I'll be drilling at least 1.5 meters deep. The design shows the plot, the excavated area, and all the foundation piers. As you can see, there are quite a few of them. The auger is 2 meters tall, and operating it is fairly straightforward. No license is required, at least for now. My imagination tells me that could change one day. After all, we live in the European Union, where everything seems to require paperwork. Apparently, citizens without the guidance of people who are older and wiser can only get themselves into trouble. The authorities have to hold our hands to make sure we don't hurt ourselves. After all, it's for our own safety. The drilling points are already marked on the batter boards. I've screwed in reference screws and tied string lines to them. Wherever the strings intersect, that's where a hole needs to be drilled. If the soil is sandy, drilling goes very smoothly. Clay is a different story. The biggest challenge is finding rocks larger than your fist. If one ends up in the center of the hole, you have to pull it out by hand. Since drilling holes all day can get a bit monotonous, I break things up with some woodworking. I need to prepare the forms for the corner piers and the chimney footing. This is actually one of the many mistakes I'll make during this build. I tend to be very precise, so I assume everything else will be done just as accurately. Because of that, I built the forms exactly according to the plans. Well, mistakes are often the best teachers. Eventually, there will be 2 houses here, connected by their garages. Each house will have a floor area of about 100 square meters. The project is divided into 2 stages. First, I'll build the first house, then I'll move on to the second one. Back to the drilling. The ground always has a way of surprising you. Whenever you need to dig a hole, there seems to be far more soil than you expected. But when it's time to fill that hole back in, there's always some left over and you have no idea what to do with it. As you can see, the amount of excavated soil is quite substantial, and now there's the question of where to put it. The best solution is usually to remove it from the site as soon as possible. Back to the reinforcement. Since I still had quite a bit of steel left over, I decided to use it for additional reinforcement. Normally, flat surfaces are reinforced with steel mesh. It's thinner and cheaper, but if I already have the steel, why spend extra money? What I'm doing right now also belongs on the list of mistakes, and for exactly the same reason. I assumed everything would go according to plan. The more I think about it, the more I realize that whenever I do something myself, it usually matches the plans perfectly. But whenever I trust someone else to do the work, that's when the problems begin. It wasn't always like that. When I was younger, I was more of a carefree guy. But the years go by, and you either get wiser or something like that. These days, I feel compelled to do everything properly. So far, I'm the proud creator of 6 holes. The only problem is that there are still 79 more to drill. Maybe it's time to come up with a faster method and reach for my wallet.